I was going to be big because I dream so big, and I make sure that my dreams are so far gone so that I can get there. I don't have a dream that's right here. That dream is over the mountain big, okay? Because I got to be able to get there, touch it, tap it, and make sure I put myself in that position. I never want to stop educating. I never want to stop dreaming. I never want to stop doing and having passion and impacting the world. Welcome to the Brows & Co. Show, your backstage pass to the world of brows, beauty, and business. I'm your host, Kechia Taylor, and I'm thrilled to have you with us for this weekly episode. Get ready to immerse yourself in the fascinating world of beauty trends, brow secrets, and the ins and outs of the beauty industry. Whether you're a beauty enthusiast, a business owner, or just curious about what goes on behind the scenes, you're in for a treat. So without further ado, let's explore the magic that happens when beauty meets business on the Brows & Co. Show. Welcome back to the Brows & Co. Show. I'm Kechia Taylor, CEO and franchisor of Brows & Company and your host of the Brows & Co. Show. I'm pretty much on this journey of really talking about who I am as a person and where opportunities started flowing in. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about my first time speaking on stage. Other than high school and college and stuff like that. But my first time speaking on a professional stage and that experience. So get ready. You are going to be shocked. My first time that I was asked to speak was from Professional Beauty. They asked me to speak, and not only did they ask me to speak, but they asked me to speak in London. Now, granted, this was my first speaking gig. I had no idea what I was going to be talking about. I had no idea what I was going to be faced with. All I know is I was going to London, and I was going to speak at Professional Beauty, and Sedesco asked us to speak as well. So I had two speaking events back to back. So one was on a Saturday and the other was on a Sunday. And this is my first time speaking, and I just did not know how to prepare for it. So I'm Googling, I'm YouTubing, I'm trying to figure out how to do this, what to say, how to get the audience engaged. When I first spoke for Sedesco, and it was at Professional Beauty, but the segment was for Sedesco, which is a regulating board for beauty pros overseas in the UK. They do have some offices here in the States and just all over the world. So granted, I was very, very honored to do so. And my topic was Google, okay? My favorite topic. If you guys know me, you know that I geek out on Google. I love Google. I'm a Google fan. In my past life or in my future life, I just would work for Google. I'm a Google partner, and I am excited to really speak about that in future episodes. But for one, I was asked to speak about Google, which means that people was listening to what I was saying about building your business and the relationship your business have on Google. And as a beauty pro or as a local beauty business, you should be using Google Business Profile and Google Maps to make sure that your business is getting the highest visibility as possible. And also Google Search, using Google Search Console. But you know what? That's a little bit too much for this episode, okay? I'm not even going to do the geek out thing today. But that was my first topic to speak about, and Sedesco was my first stage to speak on. When you speaking, the first time speaking, I wanted to go all out, right? My designer made this white jumpsuit for me that was tailored, custom made. because we wanted to wear all white when we were speaking, right? We wanted to make a statement, and how you can make a statement with all white, right? I had the best looking all white jumpsuit. Okay, it highlighted all areas. It was nice, form fitted, but professional, and it was off the shoulder so that I can wear beautiful jewelry around my neck. And I had my makeup done in London. It was nice. I really enjoyed the experience. I'm not the one for being all contoured up, but I did like it. And that against the white, oh, you just don't even know. I was so excited to speak. When I was here in the States, I was preparing my slides and preparing everything. I practiced my speech, what I was going to say on both stages. So one stage was for Sedesco, and then the next day was Permanent Beauty. And I was actually speaking about the Fitzpatrick Skin Scale and permanent makeup. Two different topics, but I was prepared for both of them. Now, for the one that started on Saturday, which was the Google, me speaking about Google, we caught an Uber from the hotel over to the convention center where Professional Beauty was having their conference. And y'all, I kid you not, the Uber driver got lost. And I have on tennis shoes because I'm not wearing heels around the conference, right? So I was going to put on the heels once I got into the building so that I can walk up and speak. I have on tennis shoes with this white jumpsuit, makeup done, everything. I have a bag. I'm ready. I rehearsed, I practiced, I did my slides. You couldn't tell me nothing. The Uber driver got lost, y'all. The Uber driver got lost. Time was of the essence. I arrived 1 minute before I was due on stage, y'all. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Now, granted, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I got on white, my makeup feel like it's melted. I have so much anxiety going on because this is my first time speaking. And everything went wrong, okay? Every single thing up until that point went wrong. I was just like, done. At this point, what you gonna do? You can't turn back and go home. You're in London. And so what I did was I put on my heels, and it was time to go up there and go speak. And I'm nervous, right? Because I didn't have that 15 minutes to breathe or to take it all in and just get excited. And we left early, but relying on the Uber just wasn't cool either. I got up on stage and I started to put my presentation up. And everything that I rehearsed went out the door. It went out the door. My mind wasn't thinking about anything that I rehearsed. And the slides, I was off topic. I was just doing it just like a stand-up comedian because I had a lot of anxiety going on, and I was like, okay, this is bad. In my head, I'm thinking, y'all, this is bad, right? You prepared, you came all the way over here to London and talk about your expertise in Google, and you have all these smiling, happy faces watching you, and then they're from another country, right? Watching you talk about how they can build their beauty business and how they can promote their beauty business on Google. Thank God I knew what I was talking about. I did not need a slide presentation to talk about my experience with Google and my knowledge. I talked about everything I went through, how I built my reviews, the retention, online visibility, how your website connect with Google Business Profile, how your website and blogging could actually boost your rankings to the top of search, and everything. Like, I knew my shit, right? And so all of that practice and all of that just went out the door. All in all, I felt like I did a fair job. I did know what I was talking about. I was presentable and I was stage ready, but I just had all that anxiety going on because it was my first time speaking. So of course, whether it's your first or probably 20th, I think it's always a sense of nervousness that go on, but topping it off with getting lost with the Uber driver, having to switch my tennis shoes to heels and just praying to God I didn't have to walk up there on stage with those tennis shoes on, okay? And that white jumpsuit. And I couldn't take pictures and videos the way I wanted to because time was of the the essence. I had to do that after the speech, but after I got done, I realized, you know what, Kechia, it really wasn't that bad. The only person who was critiquing was myself. It was all in my head. When I go back and I look at the video and I look at the pictures, I knew what the hell I was talking about. I was working it. I was rocking it. I was doing it without the presentation because I couldn't click on the presentation and look back and forth. I'm like, you know what? You just got to go based off of your knowledge, and you tell your story and you tell how you grew your business on Google and how you helped many beauty pros do the same thing. That's what made it easy, was the knowledge, because I knew what I was talking about. That made my life a little bit easier on stage. And still, to this day, I get a little bit nervous, but I will talk about everything. I learned my lesson to really just be authentic and to be me and talk about what I've been through and why that particular service or skill set is best for you based off of my experiences, teaching, educating, traveling, and doing the service. I learned just how to be authentically me, and I am not afraid to go on any stages anymore. I'm glad the Uber driver got lost because it really propelled me and it really pushed me and it really let me know that anything can happen and you always have to be prepared for whatever. And you need to know what you're talking about. If you're gonna go in front of a stage of hundreds of people, you need to know what you are talking about because you're already gonna be nervous. So the only thing that's gonna save you is the confidence that you know what you're talking about. The next day, when I had to speak about eumelanin skin and the Fitzpatrick scale, I was so much more confident and comfortable. I got there early. I got there like an hour early, toured everything, made sure I sat in the audience where the audience was supposed to sit, because at this, if you ever been to a beauty conference, sometimes the stages are in the middle and you're like out there and people who's at the conference just can see you and just join in. Stage was like out there. It was one of the bigger stages. And so I couldn't play that mess, okay? I couldn't play that mess the second time around. I was prepared with this a little bit more. I didn't really stick to the slides either. I just spoke about the knowledge that I had with Fitzpatrick 1 through 6, and also the knowledge that I had in working with melanated skin tones and how it could differ based on the different Fitzpatricks, the undertones, the overtones that you get. I was very happy that I got to speak about 2 totally different topics, one in business and one in permanent makeup. And that right there set the stage for me speaking at multiple events and on different podcasts, even live podcasts. Now I could just talk forever, y'all. I'm never scared of anything. I'm never afraid to put myself out there. I'm not afraid to meet people and talk about things. I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to sit there and learn about things that I know nothing about, okay? And I'm not afraid to share my journey and share what I have learned with other people. And I think that's what makes you a great speaker, is being able to share your story with other people who are longing for that. The fact that I could help somebody with my voice and my story was just the most amazing thing to me. And so I fell in love with speaking right after that. And I love people. I love educating. And the thing is, I'm speaking and I'm educating all day long to people in front of me. But it's something about everybody out there in that audience. Even one time I spoke, I walked out of the audience. So I got over whatever kind of fear that I had to go and speak. It was internal. It was me. People just want to learn. They are there to learn about you, learn about the skills or techniques that can propel their business forward or help them move into their journey. And that was me at my first speaking event in London. I'm grateful, y'all. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to go around the world, speak, and to educate. And that, my friends, is something that I never thought that I would be doing at all. Like I said, I always knew I was going to be big because I dream so big, and I make sure that my dreams are so far gone so that I can get there. I don't have a dream that's right here. That dream is over the mountain big, okay? Because I got to be able to get there, touch it, tap it, and make sure I put myself in that position. I never want to stop educating. I never want to stop dreaming. I never want to stop doing and having passion and impacting the world. I hope this episode was helpful to someone who's looking to get into speaking, or maybe you have your first speaking gig in front of a lot of people and you're nervous. Just let it go, girl. Let it go and just speak about the knowledge that you have, because it is itching to get out of you and transfer it to someone else. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm Kechia Taylor, CEO and franchisor of Browsing Company and your host of the Browsing Co. Show. I will see you next week. New episode, new topic.